Welcome to the Energy Insights Perspective series from Delta EE. Energy Insights are the consumption data and tools that residential energy customers can access and get value from. And this lies at the heart of many customer engagement and digital transformation strategies. It's an increasingly important category, and in the energy transition and at Delta EE, we have a research service dedicated to it. This series of Energy Insights Perspectives focuses on one topic within this market. Today, we'll be discussing the differences between smart meter and real-time data. We ask an industry expert to debate each topic, and I'm very pleased to be joined today by Bert Lutje Berenbroek, CEO of NET2GRID, whose company has designed solutions for both smart meter and real-time data, so we'll be able to give an objective view. Welcome, Bert. Do you want to say a few words to introduce yourself and NET2GRID?
Sure. Thank you, David. NET2GRID is providing technology to energy retailers to deliver data-driven services on both smart meter data and real-time data. This includes the disaggregation service for both smart meter and real-time, as well as the cost-effective self-install hardware to capture the real-time data. We have offices in the Netherlands and Greece, and customers in more than 10 European countries and Australia.
Great, thanks. So smart meters are the default source of electricity consumption data in many European markets, and its opportunities have been well documented. These include, for instance, greater understanding of energy consumption and cost, which our customer research highlights as key motivations for using energy insights right across Europe. Smart meters are therefore an enabler to save energy and money on the customer side, but also opens up new propositions and value streams on the energy system side, such as time of use tariffs and demand side response, to give two examples. And all this can be done at scale as smart meter deployments mature across Europe. But smart meter data does have its detractors. Availability is hampered in some countries like Germany. Data access can be delayed, sometimes by a day or two. And the granularity can vary, but it's generally 15, 30 or 60-minute granularity. Real-time data, with its infinitely more granular level of detail and data, adds accuracy and therefore confidence to things like personalized energy insights and advice. So it's less likely to jeopardize customer trust. This could lead to enhanced results from energy saving or behavioral demand response programs, for instance. And real-time data from additional hardware also opens up new use cases, such as fault detection of appliances and grid analytics. But with hardware, you get the barriers of installation and additional cost, which then impedes take-up. So, Bert, I'll turn to you. Is it as simple as smart meter solutions offer a comparatively blunt tool at scale, whereas real-time data offers a premium option for a smaller niche audience?
Yeah, that might seem the case, but it is rapidly changing. With the uptake of renewables, the value of real-time versus historical load curves is growing fast. We deliver smart meter-based services as well, but see consumers spending up to 300 times more time on real-time versus smart meter-based services. A percentage of this time, because the time people spend on energy engagement tools is extremely important. A percentage of this time is being used to upsell new services to those consumers, like an automatic recommender to replace inefficient appliances, or a behavioral demand side response, where with negative energy prices, we persuade consumers to use more energy during those time periods. Still, smart meter data is a very strong marketing tool since it is freely available, and that's why we use it as a marketing tool in our customer journey. Customers start with smart meter data and are then persuaded to upsell to real-time data. And that's how we capture the full potential of the available infrastructure.
Okay, that's great. So many energy retailers are evolving their strategies towards energy services, as you talked about, the prosumers. So ideally, they'd want the best of both worlds. You want the data granularity and the potential sort of new value streams that offers, but they want it scalable across their whole customer base, or at least the ability to do that. So how does the market try and meet these apparently opposing needs?
Yeah, that is a huge challenge. And the reason for this challenge is that the revenues for data-driven services, they will become more profitable than the commodity margins are today. But those revenues are still in the future, while you need to fund your infrastructure today. And the fundamentals of data-driven services are that the more data you have, the better your algorithms are, and the more valuable services you can develop. So the challenge is how to fund your future business with today's budget. Now at NET2GRID, we nailed that problem by providing future-proof real-time services, both hardware and data science, funded by today's business models based on retention and acquisition. So the general budget in Europe for acquiring a customer is 70 euros, and the general churn is 13%. Now, within that budget, we can fund both our hardware and our data science services.
So is that sort of tapping into the acquisition budgets by building the business case for reduced need for acquisition because of the increased customer satisfaction and retention rates?
Yeah, that's one thing. It's the business case that is present here and now. But the potential to build new services based on completely new energy contracts that are bundled around real-time data.
Okay, yeah, and definitely energy companies have been experimenting with additional hardware solutions, and we've seen that from the energy retail side, and there's also a blurring of lines between the software as a service option and the sort of hardware solution specialist. So there's definitely appetite for both camps, and if you can get the two coming together under budget through things like those playing around with those acquisition costs, bringing the hardware costs down, or potentially even integration into existing hardware like smart meters, smart thermostats, then you can see the business proposition working well.
Yeah, so and it's important to have the customer journey integrated, so you can actually use the marketing strength of freely available smart meter data and migrate customers through this within the same customer journey to installing a real-time device in their home, and then making use of much more advanced services.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we've talked a bit about the current situation. Let's look ahead and where the market is moving for real-time data. So we've got data retrieval, processing, storage costs all sort of reducing over time. Hardware costs can also come down if you put them through in higher batch numbers, batch sizes. We know that self-installation is already possible for some hardware products. So this reduces some of the initially significant barriers to adoption. We know obviously that there's a growing market demand for energy services from the energy retailers, and the use cases that real-time data might open up. So how do you see real-time insights markets evolving then in the next few years?
Yeah, that's interesting. We believe we're well prepared for the future. All our products are self-installed, and we have proof now. Innogy in Germany has been rolling out our service for more than a year, and they get 5 out of 5 stars for onboarding from 95% of their customers. So that's a very important data point. With negative energy prices happening more frequently, there's really real value in behavioral demand-side response. A lot of energy retailers spend millions in building automated demand-side response services on the consumer level, but the IT complexity versus the actual amount of megawatt that you can shift is not positive. So behavioral demand-side response has more potential. NVIM in Germany is one of the good examples. They created a happy hour concept around our infrastructure, which is tied into a contract where you get a rebate on certain hours. And during the Corona times, they've experimented with actually free electricity during certain hours when the electricity prices are negative. And that has been hugely successful. In regions like Australia, the need for hardware is moving away. We have integrated our service in a comms hub of IntelliHub, which means that we're taking away the barrier to scale. The consumer doesn't have to install any hardware anymore in their home for real-time energy insight services. And the way I look at the future, what we see happening is that next generation smart meters will become really smart. We're integrating the data processing services in those meters. In our labs, we already have models running in hardware that can detect the switch of an appliance within 1 second. And that's opening up a complete new range of use cases and services.
That's great. Can you just explain a little bit about that integration into what hardware is that? Is it the smart meters or something else?
No, it's so the integration we did in Australia is in the comms hub. The integration we talk about for the new real-time services is actually inside the meter. We basically have 3 concepts of disaggregation of total energy usage. One is based on 15-minute load curves. It's the smart meter data. The other one is based on 1 to 10 second data that is available on the hand port of most European smart meters. But the third one, the one that is really promising for the future, is an integration inside the smart meter. So you can actually use sub-second data that is not going to be transmitted to the cloud because that is way too expensive. But we are processing that sub-second data within the smart meter, and we can detect whether you're switching on your washing machine, your dishwasher, or any appliance in the home within 1 second. And that really allows you to use much more energy intensive appliances in your home without increasing the level of your installation. So it are kind of microgrid based solutions, or it allows you to have new billing infrastructure to invoice the usage of your electric vehicle at home while you're actually leasing or using a company car, and you want that invoice to go to either the lease company or your company itself. So it allows different billing methods. We're already looking with suppliers of appliances into shipping appliances with an energy contract. And this technology would actually allow appliances to do that.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting, and how the market's evolving and it will continue to evolve, I think is fascinating. One to keep an eye on. So, we continue to see smart meter data as the default, as so much has been invested in this across Europe. But if hardware solutions become economically viable at scale, such as the example there of being integrated into smart meters, for instance, and with additional stakeholders, perhaps like network operators, getting value from that data through things like behavioral demand response, then we may see sort of hardware solutions really step up in certain countries in the coming years. So if I was to sort of summarize, I think it seems that both smart meter and real-time data solutions are currently quite far apart, but if energy companies can overcome these cost and installation barriers of real-time data and bring scale, and there are steps already towards that, then I think we'll be talking a lot more about real-time data in the coming years. Thank you, Bert, for sharing your experience and views. Been really helpful, really valuable. And thank you to the audience for taking the time out to watch this discussion. Do look out for other episodes in the Energy Insights Perspective series from Delta EE coming soon. Thank you.